Good morning, Lamar Elementary. I'm Mrs. Fowler, the principal. And it is October, and October is National Bullying Prevention Month. And we want Lamar to be a bully-free zone. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about bullying. Bullying is behavior that's unwanted and aggressive, and it's repeated. And so that can be teasing, that can be name calling, that can be hitting, or any other behaviors that you don't like that somebody does to you over and over again. And if somebody's bullying you, it's okay to report to a teacher. There's a difference between reporting and tattling. And I'm sure your teachers have told you that. But if somebody's bullying you and calling your names over and over and over again, and they are pinching you or hitting you or anything like that, that needs to be reported to an adult or a teacher right away. You can even let me know. Now, there's some things that bullying aren't. So, for example, if somebody just doesn't want to be your friend and you're on the playground and you get on the slide that they want to get on or the toy that they want to get on and they say, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Well, that's not bullying. That's just a one-time thing. And sometimes those things happen. And the teacher really can't make somebody be friends with you. Or maybe you and somebody else are fighting and not getting along and the teacher just says, you know what, you guys stay away from each other for just a little bit and give each other a little break. That's not bullying. But if somebody continuously calls you names and you're not doing anything, you're just there and they just are being mean to you and name calling and they are maybe hurting you in any kind of way or hurting your feelings over and over again and you don't understand why, that could be bullying and that needs to be reported. So you can help by being kind, being nice to everyone. Maybe if you see someone that's in your class and they look sad, maybe they have no friends, maybe no one plays with them on the playground. You can be kind and you can be a friend and you can either just smile at them, wave at them, ask them if they want to play with you. That's how we have a nice school where everybody's happy and everyone wants to be friendly and be kind. So we're going to work this month and the rest of the year on being a buddy, not a bully. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. I have a book to read to you that says Bullies Never Win, and it's by Marjorie Culler, and it's illustrated by Arthur Howard. Jessica was a worrier. She worried day and night. She worried about her socks not matching, having knobby knees, losing her barrettes, and not doing well in school. But in Mr. Martin's first grade class, Jessica had a big worry. Brenda Bailey. Brenda was perfect. Her bangs were even. Her homework was always right. She wore a new outfit every day. And she scowled when Jessica did something better than she did. If Jessica got all her homework right, Brenda would say, I bet you cheated. So Jessica hid her homework. If Jessica wore a new skirt to school, Brenda would say, your legs look like toothpicks. So Jessica started wearing pants. If Jessica scored at kickball, Brenda would say, you were just lucky. So Jessica stopped playing kickball. Brenda never asked Jessica to sit with her at lunch. Instead, Brenda sat with all her friends and Jessica sat alone. Jessica got tired of sitting by herself, so one day she tried sitting at Brenda's table. Look who's here, Toothpick. Jessica's eyes started to sting. She blinked to try to keep from crying. She left the cafeteria without finishing her lunch. That's so sad. After school, Jessica went to her room. She stared at the wall. She worried. What terrible thing would Brenda say next? Jessica thought about Mr. Martin. He had told the class that sometimes bullies stop bullying if you just ignore them. But how could Jessica ignore a bully who was always in her face? At dinner, Dad asked, how was school? Jessica stared at her food. What's wrong? Asked Mom. Nothing, said Jessica. That night, Jessica couldn't fall asleep. She squeezed her eyes shut and tried to count sheep. But instead, she saw perfect little Brenda's leaping over the fence. The next morning, her eyes felt as dry as sand and her stomach hurt. "Can I stay home today?" she asked Mom. Her mother felt her forehead. "You don't feel hot." "I have a stomach ache," said Jessica. "I guess you were sick," said Mom. "Go back to bed." Immediately, Jessica's stomach felt better. But she knew she couldn't avoid Brenda forever, so the following day, Jessica went to school. All morning, Jessica ignored Brenda, but at lunchtime, she discovered that Mom had packed her sandwich in Tom's lunchbox. She tried to shove it behind her back before Brenda could see, but she wasn't quick enough. "Toothpick has a boy's lunchbox," Brenda said to everyone. Jessica's cheeks felt like chili peppers. How could Mom have made such a mistake? "Come sit over here," called Anita. Jessica quickly sat down next to Anita and her friends. "That Brenda's such a bully," said Anita. "You should stand up to her." But Jessica couldn't. When she got home, Jessica told her mother, "You packed my lunch in Tom's lunchbox. It's a boy's lunchbox." "I was in a hurry," said Mom. "I'm sorry." She paused. "What difference does it make? Your lunch is your lunch no matter what it's packed in." "It makes a big difference," said Jessica, and she burst into tears. "This can't just be about lunchboxes," said Mom. "It's about Brenda," said Jessica, hiccuping between sobs. "She picks on me. She calls me Toothpick. Today she teased me about Tom's lunchbox." "That's terrible," said Mom. "Have you told her how you feel?" "No," cried Jessica. "Then she'd really make fun of me." "Why don't you talk to Mr. Martin?" suggested Mom. "If he knew that Brenda was bullying you, he would do something about it." That night, Jessica tossed and turned. Should she talk to Mr. Martin? Should she stand up to Brenda? What could she say to her? "Your bangs are ugly. Your knees are flat as pancakes. Your freckles look like pimples." I hope she doesn't say that. She could get in trouble too. The next morning, Brenda came up behind Jessica in the hallway. "Toothpick," Brenda hissed. Jessica's heart began to pound. She thought about what her mother had said. She turned around and blurted, "I'm going to tell Mr. Martin if you keep picking on me." "Tattletale," said Brenda, and she stuck out her tongue and ran into the classroom. At lunch, Jessica sat with Anita again. Brenda was at the table next table with all her friends. "Hey, Toothpick," called Brenda, "did you bring your brother's lunchbox again?" "No wonder you're so skinny. You eat baby food." Jessica stood up. Enough was enough. She put her hands on her hips. In a loud voice, she said, "Toothpicks may be thin, but bullies never win." Brenda blushed. Her freckles turned pink. For once, she didn't say anything. Jessica threw back her shoulders and marched out of the cafeteria. At dinner, Laura asked, "Did you stand up to that bully Brenda?" "Why didn't she like my lunchbox?" asked Tom. "Pass the spaghetti," said Dad. "How'd things go?" said Mom. "I don't think Brenda will pick on me anymore," said Jessica, "but even if she does, I know what to do." "Hooray for Jessica," said her family. "Hooray for toothpicks," said Jessica. And that night, Jessica fell asleep without any more worries. Because Jessica knows what to do now. She knows that she can report to a teacher and that she can stand up to bullies. And you guys can too. If you see someone getting picked on, it's okay to stand up for them, tell someone to stop and to be nice. And remember, if someone keeps teasing you or keeps hurting you, it's okay to report to a teacher. That's reporting. That's not tattling. So we're going to be buddies, not bullies. Now, it's not okay to call someone else names because they call you names, because then you're being just as mean. So if someone calls you a mean name, you be the big person. You don't say anything back, and you make a good choice. Remember, Lamar, we're going to be buddies, not bullies. Have a great day.